Lower testosterone is the issue?
What are you saying?
After 40, the body has less testosterone, impacting your drive. That's why guys like me take Nugenix Total T, to keep their energy up.
Nugenix really works for you?
Since I started taking Nugenix, I feel great. Getting up early for workouts. I'm focused, energized, getting things done at work, in the gym. I even feel more passion in my relationship.
How do I give Nugenix a try?
Send them a text for a complimentary bottle.
Text HAWK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HAWK to 321-321. That's HAWK to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. And one thing I've learned is that you buy a house, but you make it a home. Because with every fix, update, and renovation, it becomes a little more your own. So you need all your jobs done well. For nearly 30 years, Angie has helped millions of homeowners hire skilled pros for the projects that matter. From plumbing to electrical, roof repair to deck upgrades. So leave it to the pros who will get your jobs done well. Hire high-quality certified pros at Angie.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Walking into the building for the first time after the shooting, it was crippling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
In 1848, James Marshall discovered gold at Sutter's Mill. And in 3 years, a multicultural migration grew a sleepy trading post of 800 to a city of over 250,000. These were the first dreamers, innovators, builders, and inventors that defined San Francisco. The San Francisco Historical Society exists to uncover, preserve, and present in engaging ways the colorful and diverse history of our city from its earliest days to the present. As a member, you'll receive The Argonaut, an award-winning publication that has provided in-depth historical accounts for over 30 years. And The Panorama, a quarterly newsletter covering ongoing activities and historical presentations. Go to sfhistory.org and discover the San Francisco Historical Society, giving our history a great future. Become a member today.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting a Teenager. Learning the lingo.
GOAT, G-O-A-T, acronym, stands for Greatest of All Time. As in, spaghetti sandwiches for dinner? They're my fave. Dad, you're the GOAT.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same. Visit adoptuskids.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
At Odyssey, to create a diverse and inclusive workforce, we encourage local organizations to refer qualified applicants. Simply email equalemployment@odyssey.com to be notified of all open positions. And we invite our listeners to visit odyssey.com/careers to view a listing of all job openings.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app, Twitch, and YouTube. Powered by First NorCal Credit Union.
It's time to wake up.
It's 5, and we're live.
Oh, is this thing on? I don't care. I want him to hear.
This is the Pregame Show, your early morning shot of sports on 95.7 The Game. Come on!
With the 11th pick in the 2011 NBA Draft, the Golden State Warriors select Klay Thompson from Washington State University. I'm out.
An end of an era in Golden State. Klay Thompson moving on to the Dallas Mavericks after 11 seasons and a 4-time champ with 5 All-Star Game appearances in a Golden State Warriors uniform. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's the Pregame Show, Joe Spadoni, and for the next hour, we're going to be reminiscing, but also discussing the future, because we can't stay stuck on the past, and we got to focus on the present if you're a Golden State Warriors fan. But I'm okay with, doing a trip down memory lane today, because I think Klay Thompson has earned that. He is one of the greatest players in the history of the organization. He is going to be a Hall of Famer. Whether you think he's a statue guy or not, he could be a statue guy. If you're one of those that think it's only Steph, well, all right. I like the idea of all three getting a statue, Steph, Dre, and Klay, although maybe some feel that it should only be Steph. But don't get it twisted. There are 2 Splash Brothers. And now, they're apart. For the first time ever in their careers, Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, and Draymond Green. One of those guys is gone. The 34-year-old chose to go to the Dallas Mavericks for a 3-year, $50 million deal. Now, he did have a 2-year, $48 million deal, sheckled out to him, reached out to him this past season, and he denied it. He bet on himself, and he wanted that extra year. And maybe, just maybe, he bets on himself these next couple of years, and he gets another contract. Maybe he thinks he's at that level still. Or he's saying, I want that extra year because this is my last contract. Again, he's 34 years old. Time in the NBA, unless you're LeBron James or Steph Curry, and hell, even those guys are slowing down a bit. It could end fast. And he realizes he wants to win as well. And is staying with the Golden State Warriors the best option for him in this stage of his career? He didn't think so. But I want to hear from the fans. I want to hear from the people. How are we feeling today, Dub Nation? Are we feeling a sense of, sadness? A sense of relief? A sense of anxiety on the unknown? I feel like I'm, Inside Out 2. I'm trying to pick which emotion you are. By the way, great movie. The newest one. Got like $1 bajillion too at the box office. Not surprised. I know Pixar's been taking some hits, but hey, Pixar's local. Shout out Emeryville. We support our own. I support Pixar. Inside Out 2. Go see it. I think one of my new favorite emotions is probably embarrassment. Because we all feel it all the time. Embarrassment. I think Klay Thompson felt embarrassed at times during these last couple seasons. It's not easy coming back from one major injury, let alone 2, with the ACL, then the Achilles. Having all that time off, getting left off the top 75 team, telling people, and people telling you, you can't do it anymore. This team doesn't have it anymore. He comes back, he dunks in his first appearance against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And then they won another championship. And everything at that point seemed perfect for the Warriors. They got James Wiseman, right? They got the future in hand. They got Moody. They got Kuminga. Steph is in fuego. He just won the Finals MVP for the first time. Draymond Green. He's locked and loaded. And then it all changed. Like a snap of the fingers from Thanos. It all changed. And what all changed for Klay Thompson? Well, I think it was just gnawing at him that he wasn't the player he used to be. He was forcing shots. He was not taking smart shots. And he had to get a talking to from the coach, from the team. And that was humbling for him. He didn't feel like the team had his back. And that's kind of coming to light here with a lot of the behind-the-scenes storylines. Now, there's always two sides to every story. And again, I don't begrudge Klay Thompson for feeling some type of way. And I think a lot of people are going to go to Klay, when you were hurt, they paid you. Well, okay. Try not paying a 3-time champion at that point and multi-time All-Star and a guy that was one of the top 5 players in your organization. Try not paying him after what he has done. You want to be in that kind of business if you're Joe Lacob and Bob Myers at the time? No. You pay that guy even though he was hurt. Because if you don't, it's going to be a horrible look at other free agents around the league. Although, not a lot of free agents around the league are still looking at the Golden State Warriors as a destination. Although, Anthony Melton, come on down. Former Phoenix Sun, former Memphis Grizzly, former Philadelphia 76er, D'Anthony Melton, guard, coming in to, compete for a starting spot, potentially. We'll see what shakes out. Not everything's done yet. But James in Berkeley wants to weigh in on the conversation at 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text the Xfinity Mobile text line. Again, Klay Thompson is joining the Dallas Mavericks on a 3-year, $50 million contract. He is leaving the Warriors after 11 seasons, winning 4 chips here, had 5 All-Star game appearances. How do you feel about it? That's really the simple question that I have for you today. 888-957-9570. Hit us up there. Hit us up on the Xfinity Mobile text line, as well as Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. Search this platform at 95.7 The Game on any of those platforms, I should say. And it's all powered by First NorCal Credit Union. We love it. And all of our guests, by the way, appear on the River Islands guest line. And you know what? James in Berkeley is going to appear to us on the River Islands guest line because he's a guest on the pregame show. What's going on, James? Oh, hold on. I need to pot you up real quick. Hang on. Hang tight, James. No, he's just not there? Oh. Is it turned on, Sammy, the phone thing? No. It's all right. James just isn't there. James, call back. It's okay. You know what? He might have gotten choked up that Klay Thompson's gone, Sammy. He just couldn't get the words. And let's relax a little bit. I've just seen some posts where it's just like, he's not dead. Okay? He's very much alive. The Warriors are going to honor him. In fact, the Warriors released a statement knowing that he was going to depart. And here, as I pull it up, Golden State Warriors, there we go. All right. Quote, this is via the Warriors. Quote, "We can't overstate Klay Thompson's incredible and legendary contributions with the Warriors during his 13 years with the team, highlighted by 4 NBA championships, 6 trips to the NBA Finals, 5 NBA All-Star Game appearances, and several NBA records, including the most points ever scored in a quarter in NBA history, 37, and the most 3-point field goals in a game, 14. The amount of joy and happiness that Klay provided Warriors fans, Bay Area natives, and Dub Nation supporters all around the world has been immense and cannot be minimized. His penchant for delivering in pressurized situations on the biggest stage, including many Game 6 heroics, has helped define a career. Klay's legacy will live on forever, and we look forward to the day we can retire his number 11 jersey at Chase Center, where he will join a host of Warriors immortals, including those who helped shape this recent dynasty, himself included. We thank Klay for his contributions, I should say, and wish him the best as another chapter in his journey is written. The rest is still unwritten." All right, James, let's try this again. What's going on, man? It's just not on. All right, it's just not happening. There might be something with the phones then, Sammy. If you can hear him fine and it's just not going over here, we'll get it fixed. Just text in then, James. I don't know. Don't know what to tell you. It's a pregame show at 5:09 a.m. We'll figure it out. We got Bonte and Chasky here in 15 minutes. I'm a lot more patient when it comes to that stuff, though. Those other guys may not be as patient. So we'll get it fixed.
I'm a Warriors fan all the way.
That's what I feel about that situation. Let's just go down memory lane. You hear the Warriors in their statement listing off some of the achievements and accomplishments of a Klay Thompson. Let's start. Where do I want to start here? There's so many different ones. Let's start early in the run. That first playoff run in Game 6 against the Memphis Grizzlies back in 2015. Klay Thompson goes for 30.
Poole, stutter steps, drives on Jackson. Hook pass up top. Thompson fires away. 5 for 5 beyond the arc for Klay Thompson. Looney gets the rebound to Curry. Looped it ahead to Draymond. Draymond accelerates to the rim. Finds Klay Thompson. Left corner. Fires away. Got it! 3-ball. Left corner pocket. Thompson loads up a 3 right side. That's good. Klay, as he does, has come to play in Game 6. Curry to the front court. Finds Klay. Klay, crowded by Bane, takes a rhythm dribble jumper. It's good. 2 plays they need to run right now. You know what they are. Get Klay the ball. Klay, come get the ball. Curry, deep 3 on the way with 1 on the clock. Back rim miss. Looney again. Finds Thompson. Loads up a triple. Good!
Tim Roy on the call right here on 95.7 The Game. And man, when I think of Klay Thompson in Golden State Warriors uniform, I think of a guy that has the ability to be the hottest player in the history of the sport. That's the ability of a Klay Thompson. I think we kind of, our eyes dull a little bit because we are such awe of Stephen Curry all the time. So it's just like when we see other 3-point shooters, like, oh yeah, well, we got the best one ever. Well, you might have had the 2 best ever. And at times when both were the hottest that they were, Klay might have been a little better from beyond the arc. I'm not saying he's a better shooter overall. I'm saying when they were both in a zone, Steph and Klay might have been right up there, if not a smidge better than Stephen Curry. And again, Steph's the greatest ever. And Klay was that good. And they were on the same team together. How crazy is that? Like, I know we're going to be desensitized to everything right now. We're going to be very serious right now and be like, oh man, I can't believe this is ending. Like, how could he do this to us? I mean, $50 million. We offered him 48 for 2 years. Well, he wanted that extra year. And maybe he just didn't want to be here anymore. You know what? Sometimes it'd be like that. He just didn't want to be in Golden State anymore. And I think he had earned the right to step away and move on to another location, a location where he feels he can best win another championship. And I'm sorry, Golden State Warriors fans. Right now, the Dallas Mavericks are a more enticing spot to go to. It's a fact. Oklahoma City, more enticing. Minnesota, more enticing. Hell, people are looking at the San Antonio Spurs. Lauri Markkanen, the Spurs are sniffing around him too. They might make a trade for him. I'm going to be interested still, and we're on Lauri Markkanen watch still. That's who the Warriors have been reportedly interested in via Brian Windhorst, ESPN. Them, the Spurs. We'll see what the Jazz do. I'm still hesitant to say the Jazz are moving on from him because I don't know what their end game is. Going back to Avengers, I don't know what the Jazz end game is. I was going to say the Jazz is that's a word. So we'll wait and see there. And all breaking news, contract, trade, whatever, we will break it here on 95.7 The Game, your home for Golden State Warriors basketball. And don't forget, we have the Warriors offseason summit next Monday at Fremont Bank down in Fremont. It's going to be awesome. We got all the hosts talking Warriors offseason, talking, the recap of this past season and looking to the future. And we'll see if they make a massive deal ahead of Monday. But if they don't, if it's still, we're going to be talking a lot of Klay Thompson, I'm sure, and how things ended in Golden State, because it feels like we're just scratching the surface, if you will, on what really took place behind the scenes. We're hearing a lot of different stuff. And let's go to Anthony Slater, our Warriors insider here at 95.7 The Game. They got some breaking all this news along with Shams Charania of The Athletic. Anthony Slater on the Warriors' lack of warmth with Klay Thompson.
it became clear that like the market didn't really matter. The money didn't necessarily matter. Like he was unhappy enough last season, and he was kind of jilted enough by management's lack of communication and lack of what I think his side felt was like a genuineness to their desire to have him as like a core member foundationally into the future. Not that they weren't willing to have a contract offer now or didn't have a contract offer, obviously, extension time in the preseason, but wasn't a lot of warmth to the way they operated with Klay Thompson.
Oh, excuse me. Mic on. Come on. I believe that was from last week when Anthony Slater joined the morning roast in studio. God, I'm still upset I missed it. But the Warriors lacking of warmth with Klay Thompson. And here's another one on why Klay is walking away from the Golden State Warriors.
One of the things that made me more sure he was leaving through this process was I do think from the Warrior side where they miscalculated was, Joe Lacob, really the Lacobs, when they did this with the Andre Iguodala, the businessman Andre Iguodala, it was that like CEO versus, businessman type negotiations. And really with Draymond Green last time too, where it was leveraged plays and each side was kind of playing this game of chicken and, who would blink first, how much money could the player get out of the team, all that. I was told on the Klay side, like, that's not how he plays. Once you make your leverage play and hardball him, he just has bye. And I know even when I put out the story that like, hey, this is going in a really bad direction, I think people were like, oh, this is Klay trying to make the Warriors up their offer. And it was like, no, like he's just decided it's over. Yeah. He's not trying to play this game. He's looking for a new home. And, the truth is 2 steps back. I think we can both understand why the Warriors would not want to pay him a certain amount of money and prioritize other stuff. But it snowballed to this moment where Klay Thompson is just walking away.
There's so many different angles you can go with this. And listen, I'm not here to cape up for the Warriors, for Klay Thompson. I have no dog in this fight. I don't. I'm just calling it like I see it. I think Klay Thompson wanted to move on from the Golden State Warriors. I think he was slighted, and you're hearing it from Slater there, about the whole bench situation, about having to have meetings with him about his shot selection. The guy had won 4 championships there, and now they are going to go after him because of his shot collection. That's how he's feeling. And you know what? They never made that right by him. And now making it right, making it wrong. Again, that's how he feels. And that's a 4-time champion. And these guys are built differently. Some of these guys, and I only use the word sensitive, but I don't use that in a negative way. I think we attach someone to saying, oh, this person's sensitive and something like that, and automatically we go to a negative. No, I'm not saying it's a negative at all. He has a right to be sensitive about all this. Again, what he went through to get back to winning another title and being a title contributor after those gruesome injuries he had, one in the finals and one in the offseason as he was just getting back to being that guy again. How could you not be a little more sensitive? And that's why I think the Warriors angle, and I'm not privy to those conversations. I'm not sure how it went, but you would think when talking to him that they would have, a little bit more of a soft touch, like a Steph Curry shot around the rim. And maybe they did, and Klay just wasn't having it. And he just wanted to move on regardless, and he was looking for an excuse to move on. I think he would have liked to stay a Warrior, but I don't think it meant everything to him to remain in a Warriors uniform for the rest of his career. I think he wants to win another title too and prove to those people in the Warriors front office that, hey, I still can contribute on a championship team. Hell, I might even start for another championship team. You look at what the Mavericks offered, $3 or $50 million. The Los Angeles Lakers offered another year and $80 million reportedly. And D'Angelo Russell on a sign and trade, and the Warriors said no. They tried. I knew they would. If they really wanted Klay, though, the Lakers, I'm sure they could have had him, but they would have had to offer up a guy like an Austin Reeves for the Warriors to sign off on that. They were not going to help facilitate the Lakers, much like the Clippers weren't going to help the Warriors working out the Lakers. Like, PR would have been horrible. Can you just imagine for a second, the Warriors signed off on a sign and trade, sending Clay to the Lakers, and you get D'Angelo Russell back? Oh, I would have had a lot more angry callers this morning. Yes, callers. I know I don't get many of them here. And good morning to all you lovely people just getting off work, getting ready for work. It's going to be hot, folks. It's going to be toasty. If you're here on the coast, I hate you because you're going to have beautiful weather. It's not going to feel that gross. I'm just looking at the weather app right now. It's going to be 78, 77, 75. Enjoy it, San Francisco, USOBs. While I'm burning my ass off out in East Oakland, 90 degrees it's projecting. And no, I don't have air conditioning. All right? Because it's only really this hot, like 14 days out of the year. And I don't want to pay the air conditioning. Call me cheap all you want. I don't want to deal with it. All right? Bite me. Yes, I'm salty this morning. Not as salty as a lot of Warriors fans are on the Xfinity mobile text line, 888-957-9570. 415, good riddance. 510, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Jeez! For Klay Thompson? Again, I don't tell people how to fan. I don't do that. You're certainly within your right to be upset about how all this went down and feel like Klay Thompson moving on from the Warriors is a diss to you. You can feel that way all you want. I just think he looked at the current situation, looked at his standing on the team, and be like, why would I stay here and come off the bench for Brandon Pajemski when I could potentially have a starting role on a team that just won the Western Conference? I mean, just, right? Tell me, what seems more appealing? It's not even close. Kyrie and Luka or Stephen Wiggins? You want to toss in Draymond? Sure. I know which one I'm picking. And I love Steph. I do. Draymond Green's not there for a quarter of the season because he's getting suspended. I'm going with Luka and Kyrie and the next up-and-coming team potentially. That was just, maybe a Luka Doncic, foul getting called away from maybe, coming back and making that a series. It didn't happen, though. And Celtics, yes, they're on another level right now than everyone else, just like we thought the Denver Nuggets were on another level than everyone else last year. And will it be difficult to get back to the NBA Finals? Absolutely. Would I bet on the Mavericks getting there? Probably not. But they have a better shot right now than the Golden State Warriors do, and that is why Klay Thompson is leaving. Again, we're remembering Klay Thompson as a Golden State Warrior today. He's not gone from us. He's not, and Lord knows we've had actual memoriams and shows, whether it's the great late Willie Mays, Orlando Cepeda, RIP. Klay Thompson's still with us. We're still going to see the memes. You're going to be playing him 4 times next year. Hell, whatever the play-in tournament is, maybe you'll be playing him more. We'll see. But let's choose to remember the good times. You can remember some of the bad if you want to. Again, it's your floor, Warriors fans. But I'm going to choose to remember some of these moments of Klay Thompson because first and foremost, before I think of the player, and yes, I think about the hot shooting and all that, the 37 points in a quarter against the Sacramento Kings, I think of the personality that was Klay Thompson. And I think a lot of people have forgotten that because his mood and tone has shifted a little bit since those injuries. And again, I don't blame the guy. Our mood always changes throughout life. Like you meet someone that you haven't seen in a decade plus. Like I just saw one of my buddies this past weekend that I haven't seen since graduating high school. He's a teacher now. And his temperament, although similar, has changed. His personality's changed. But that's what I expect. Like you're not going to be the same person that you were 11 years ago or 11 seasons ago. And Klay changed after those injuries, for better or for worse. And here he is, prior to that, early Klay Thompson, talking about scaffolding in New York City.
Clay, you kind of had a viral video this morning where you're just randomly talking on the street with a news report. Just how did that happen?
I was walking and she asked me if I wanted to interview. And I said sure. And interesting topic. Unfortunately, people got hurt, and it's cool to give my opinion and be an active citizen in the community.
Did she have any idea who you were?
No, it was great. It was nice.
Did she just ask you your profession and you said NBA player?
No, the cameraman recognized me, but she asked my profession, just what I thought about the situation, so I answered it truthfully.
That was Anthony Slater again doing the back and forth with Klay Thompson. That was in New York City again. And this was the interview. Shout out Radio 101 Spadoni. Maybe you want to play the interview first, then his reaction. What an idiot, am I right? Klay Thompson. There's the interview that you're talking about.
NBA champ Klay Thompson says he looks up curious, but still quickly walks underneath.
So I usually observe if the piping and stuff is new, or if sometimes, something looks like it's been there a while, I kind of try to avoid.
Oh, that was abrupt. Maybe I'll get that full thing for you. Klay Thompson. Again, I'm going to miss that Klay. More than anything, that guy, because he didn't know what he was going to say. He was just wandering the streets of NYC. Yes, sir. I mean, and by the way, he's what, 6'7", 6'7", like kind of sticks out a little bit. Maybe, and then he said the cameraman recognized him. I mean, sure, right now, okay, just some random guy. Yeah, come here. You have any comments on the infrastructure and some of these injuries? Sure, I got time. That's Klay Thompson in a nutshell. We're going to talk about more of that, more of your calls, more of your texts, more of your comments. Again, we're streaming on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all powered by First NorCal Credit Union. Go and search 95.7 The Game on any of those platforms. Give us a like, subscription. We would greatly appreciate it. And how we feeling, Golden State Warriors fans? Klay Thompson moving on to the Dallas Mavericks on a 3-year, $50 million contract. More of your calls, more of your text. On the other side as the pregame show rolls on 95.7 The Game.
Hey, what's going on? It's Willard and Dibs. Just to remind you that the Warriors Offseason Summit is coming fast, Dibs, and it's also going to be at the brand new beautiful Fremont Bank, and I know you've been there.
Oh, God. Awesome bank. Awesome building.
Go to 95.7 The Game.
Joe Spadoni in here. Pregame show rolling on. 2 more segments to go. 1 down. We'll be handing it off to Dante Hill and Joe Shasky at the top of the hour. And they're going to have thoughts, memories, and, their overall feelings on Klay Thompson moving on from the Golden State Warriors. Again, 3-year, $50 million contract with the Dallas Mavericks. Warriors getting back 2 first-round picks in this second-round picks. I said first. Ooh, that would have been bad. 2 second-round picks in this deal. Perhaps they swing and move those for another big trade potentially this offseason, which is not over. It has just begun. We're only a couple days in. We'll wait and see. There's been some sniffing around of Lauri Markkanen of the Utah Jazz. Spurs and Warriors reportedly have interest, so we'll wait and see there. Some other news and notes from sports yesterday. USA losing 1-0 to Uruguay, the U.S. men's national team. They failed to advance in the Copa America tournament, and this is the first time they have failed to advance out of the group stage in a tournament held in America. In the US of A, baby. This is the first time they have failed to get out of the group stage. Pretty embarrassing. That loss to Panama pretty much sealed their fate. Some other things that happened in the game. We'll get right back into Klay. Don't worry. This is about 60 seconds. VAR, which for those of you who don't know, is video assisted referee, which is basically the instant replay in soccer, which you use for handballs to see if there should be a penalty, if there was an offsides, all this sort of stuff. And there was a clear offsides yesterday. There was a goal that occurred. Uruguay goes up 1-0, but clearly offsides according to VAR. But apparently not. Apparently, you can just, look at the technology and just say, I'm just going to go with my original call. I went on the rant about the French Open and them refusing to use the Hawkeye system. Say the same thing about VAR. If we have the technology, why the hell aren't we using it? And when we do use it, why are we being ignorant to what we see? Trust your eyes. Trust them. If you're wearing contacts and you're nearsighted, take them off then. Put on glasses. Invest in something. I don't know what kind of pension referees get or if they get any health benefits, but maybe, just maybe, every single referee, whether it's an umpire, whether it's in the NBA, whether it's in soccer, UEFA, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF, invest in optometry because these guys can't see or unwilling to see. Now, having said all that, does not excuse the USA for just a pitiful performance against Uruguay, against Panama, hell, even against Bolivia. Should have dominated more. And they're getting knocked out. Their manager, who is somehow still on the team, who should be fired, Greg Berhalter, still sticking around for God knows why, has the greatest collection of talent the U.S. has ever had on the men's side. And they're squandering it with 2 years to go until the World Cup. This was going to be the tournament that sets up the World Cup, which again is going to be at Levi's Stadium. It's going to be awesome. I don't know if USA is going to play there, but some team's going to play there, and we're all going to be excited, and we're all going to be like, oh, what's the U.S. going to do? Well, they had the opportunity to move on from Greg Berhalter a couple of years ago, but they didn't. So we're probably not even going to get out of the group stage. And if we do, we're going to get popped against a Netherlands, a Belgium, a France. And listen, I'm not delusional enough to think the USA is on the level of quality of those teams yet. They aren't. But I do know that the U.S. men's national team has a lot of quality players playing in the top leagues all around Europe, whether it's Serie A, whether it's Premier League, whether it's La Liga. They are playing at some of the top clubs over there. Christian Pulisic, who some think is the best on the U.S. teams, AC Milan. So that's my little rant. Go back to Klay Thompson. Horrible taste in my mouth after last night. Just disappointing, but not surprised. Changes need to happen. And invest in a real coach, for God's sakes. Go send Jurgen Klopp, who was formerly of Liverpool, won a Champions League title, won a Premier League title. Go give him $1 bajillion. Tell him to come over here, him and his fake teeth. Please, get serious for once. All right. Back to some unserious stuff and just happy things. How about this moment?
Green to Klay Thompson. Where's the occasion? But Klay fires away. He's got another three. It's an NBA record 10 threes in a playoff game. 96-92. He's got 36. Westbrook stumbles with a dribble, almost falls down. Stripped by Andre and stolen. Iguodala to Thompson. Right side three for the lead. Got it! Golden State leads with 1:35 to go. It's 104-101. Klay Thompson has 11 threes in the game.
Game 6, Klay was born against the Oklahoma City Thunder back in 2016. God, that was 8 years ago. Oh, where does time go, man? It's scary. It really is. 8 years ago, baby-faced Klay just destroying the hearts and souls of Oklahoma City fans everywhere. They knew it was over after that loss. You go up 3-1. Should be over. But it wasn't. Klay Thompson, another one. How about this? Forcing another Game 7, 35 points in Game 6 against the Houston Rockets.
Durant pulls up into traffic, loses the ball, bats it out to Curry, finds Thompson, right corner, three, got it!
Now you're cooking.
It's a 2-point game. Oracle is rocking, and Mike D'Antoni needs to talk it over. Draymond. Pass goes to Thompson in the corner. He'll take a three. Knocked it down. Klay Thompson on fire. 5 of 10 from distance. He's tied the game at 69. Yes. Draymond throws to Thompson. He's open right side. The three ball's good. Draymond on the break. Shoveled back to Klay. It's a 27-footer. Good.
Their biggest lead of the night keeps getting bigger.
89-77. Klay Thompson says, I'm not going home. Not tonight. Durant on the jaw. Takes it middle. Drifting far side. Chest pass to Draymond. Throws to Thompson. Off a screen. Three ball up and good again. 8 threes for Klay.
All right, let's see if the phone lines are working again. 888-957-9570. Let's go out to our guy Chuck, a.k.a. Charlie, out in NYC. Charlie.
Hey, what's up, man? Good morning. 2 days in a row.
Let's go, Chuck.
all right. Well, listen, I have all the love in the world for Klay. I have no bad feelings. I'm a little numb to it. It'll really hit me the first time I see him in that Mavericks uniform on the court. But I think, obviously, the Warriors, as we discussed yesterday, they were trying to go in one direction to win now, trying to obtain PG-13. Clearly, now they're going in another direction. So, with that being said, I posed a question yesterday. And before I pose the question again, as the team is constructed, clearly they are in worse state than they were last year.
Yes.
Clearly they had their moves to be made, but if Curry does not get a legit number 2, whether that's Kuminga taking a big step forward, who knows, or if Wiggins is completely unreliable and clearly they're trying to move him. Lauri Markkanen, would you, again, I asked yesterday, you said no, I was sort of on board. Would you move a Kuminga in a package for a Lauri Markkanen, who you can build? Now, I say that because he's 27, 7-footer, doesn't rebound enough to be at that height, but he's, I think, a legit number 2 option. You can transition to him going forward as you move into the next phase of whatever that is, post Curry. Clearly, you'd like to obtain Lauri Markkanen without parting with Kuminga, but I don't think Danny Ainge wants Wiggins and Moody unless you threw 4 number 1s, or something crazy like that, like what the Knicks did. But I wouldn't do that either. So, would you trade Kuminga in a package for a Lauri Markkanen?
That's a great question, Charlie. You know what? Since we're up against it, I'm going to tease my answer to the other side. I appreciate you calling in.
All right, buddy. I'll keep listening.
Thanks, Chuck.
Listening.
I'm going to tease that. That's Charlie in New York City. Would you trade or give up Jonathan Kuminga if it meant getting Lauri Markkanen. We'll discuss that on the other side, plus more of your calls, more of your texts, as we say goodbye to Klay Thompson, who has played his last game in a Golden State Warriors uniform on 95.7 The Game.
I have a busy house, a kid, a wife, a baby. It's just going crazy. And the drain is constantly at work, collecting hair, food scraps.
Tim. Man, hearing Tim on all these calls on that rejoin. Well, he's feeling. I mean, the golden era of Golden State basketball cannot be talked about without talking about Klay Thompson, who is moving on from the Golden State Warriors after 11 seasons, winning 4 titles, 5 All-Star game appearances, Game 6 Klay. I mean, the moments he had and the moments in the losses. He's signing a 3-year, $50 million contract with the Dallas Mavericks, but this is another thing I think about when I think about Klay Thompson, the Golden State Warriors uniform. It was in a series in which they lost in the NBA Finals, but it was inspiring nonetheless.
Curry to Thompson. Thompson to the rim. Goes up. He got fouled from behind trying to dunk it. Danny Green with the foul. And Thompson's hurt. He's hurt.
His left knee. Tim, he is really hurt.
Danny Green fouled him as he flew in for a dunk. He fouled him from behind. How many more injuries must this team go through?
I just don't like the way he reacted when he was on the ground.
The ovation you hear right now is for Klay Thompson. He walked down the tunnel and said, no, I'm not going to the locker room. This is Game 6 of the NBA Finals. I'm going to turn around, walk under his own power, got back to the free throw line.
God, just so brutal. After Kevin Durant already got hurt, then you got Klay Thompson getting hurt in that series. And after that year, the doom and gloom around Golden State was at an all-time high. And then he came back. He dunked it. And they won an NBA freaking championship in the season in which he returned. After years of not playing professional basketball. Years. Countless days. What was it, like 900 and something days? Just, not playing professional basketball. Which is, all these guys know. They live and breathe this stuff. I know we talk about competitors and everyone's not built the same. And, I know Klay Thompson is a tremendous competitor. I know it pained him to have to watch Steph and Draymond just try to will that team to a play-in spot and then get bounced. I remember him being on the NBA and TNT crew with Charles Barkley, and Charles saying, they're done. You guys are done. You don't win anything. He's like, hey, I hope you feel better, Klay, soon, but you guys aren't winning another championship. You don't think that motivated him just as much? It did. And he came back. And now is he the same old Klay? Well, after what he went through, he was never going to be the same guy. But he showed in stretches during that 2022 playoff run of what he was in those first 3 championships. He showed that level at times. It wasn't as frequent, but he was still showing up. And it was a joy to watch. At their peak, it may have been, and I can just take May out, it was the greatest offense in the history of the sport. It was. It's greater than the Chicago Bulls offense. It was greater than the 0-1 Laker offense. Michael, Shaq, Kobe, all dominant. Scotty, yes. But the ball movement of a Klay Thompson, Stephen Curry, Kevin Durant, Andre Iguodala, you got Livingston anytime he wanted a mid-range jump shot. You had Draymond passing and facilitate. Like, it was just like a school of fish. Have you ever been to the Monterey Bay Aquarium? And they have that massive, right before you get to the jellyfish exhibit, they have the whole big thing of sardines just circling around when you're walking in there. And they're all just going right in the flow of traffic, right? And it's just like, how are these guys just keep going, around, and it's not getting stuck? There's like thousands of these things. How does it just keep going and going and going? That's kind of how I felt watching the Golden State Warriors offense. It was just all of these fish, all of these decisions, all of these passes, all of these shots, just constantly working in harmony. And it was the greatest show on turf, but show on the court. It was. don't know if we'll see something like that ever again. No, I know we won't. We'll never see the Chicago Bulls, the Jordan Bulls again. We'll never see the Kobe and Shaq Lakers again. We'll never see the KD, Steph, Clay, Golden State Warriors again. It was a moment in time. You just had to be there. It was one of those things. And I am so happy I was able to cover those teams and talk about those teams and watch those teams. Because to be honest, I was the Jordan years, and I'm showing my age here. I'm a little green. That's fine. I was 5 years old when MJ won his last title there. Was it 98? Yeah, I was 5. Kobe and Shaq Lakers. 7 when that magical run came around. 7, 8 years old. Like, I was in my mid-20s when this team was at its peak. And I will never forget the basketball I saw there. I mean, KD, Steph, and Clay, just talking about the three-point shot making alone. I don't blame the other teams for not even trying. And I actually give more credit to guys like Daryl Morey and the Houston Rockets for trying to go toe-to-toe in that 3-ball, right? Getting D'Antoni on board, 7 seconds or less. Shout out Marcus of Richmond. You got Chris Paul, you got James Harden. They were great villains. Hell, the Warriors themselves turned into villains. Oh, they were so, fun in 2014-15. Oh, that was a nice little, cute little championship you guys won. Yeah, you guys broke the regular season record. Oh, that was nice. LeBron won, 3-1. Hey, you guys are done now. And then they brought in Kevin Durant. Everyone hated them. And they embraced it. Is it better to be loved or feared? Well, they were loved in the Bay and feared everywhere else. So they got the best of both worlds. They really did. Do I have any more? Yeah, I do have some more. Come on. Do I have any more? Let's play this. This one's about 1:50, but I don't even care. This is the NBA record. 14 3-points made at the Chicago Bulls back on October 29th, 2018. 2 days before Halloween. Klay Thompson, take it away.
Klay Thompson now with it, backs up, he'll take a 3 in the right corner, knocked it down to Thompson, quick release, and a splash! Another 3 for Klay. He's hit his first 3 shots, you knew it was coming, and the Warriors lead by 7. Off a down screen, he's open left side, and buries another 3! Timeout Chicago, Warriors lead by 10. The slump is over for Klay Thompson, and the whole bench goes out to meet him. Thompson fakes, takes a dribble, and buries another 3! Klay Thompson has half of the Warrior points. Thompson drifting right, shoots over Levine, buried another one. Another 3 for Klay. Right now there should be 2 plays the Warriors should run. Give Klay the ball. Klay, come get the ball. Klay Thompson gets the ball. Left side 3. Why not? Why not? Thompson loads up a 3 and buried it in front of the Warrior bench. He cannot miss. Klay, the trailing 3, buried it, money. The net's not even moving. It's not even moving. Back to Klay. It's a corner 3, and yes, it is a swish. Ball comes inside. Thompson goes outside, catches and hits a 3. Design play right out of the timeout. He just can't miss. Klay Thompson turns, catches, says, no, I'm going to hit a shot, and it's another 3. Klay Thompson open 3 and rattled home another one. Curry, timeline, 3-point line, finds Klay, quick release, and a splash! He's tied the NBA record, held by Curry with 13 threes. Right side, Klay takes a dribble, now the 3, got it! An NBA record for Klay Thompson, 14 threes. Chicago calls time. And to a man, every player off the Warriors bench congratulates Klay Thompson, who is breaking Steph Curry's record.
God, just again, the basketball that was being played back then, it's just unreal. And that season did not end great for him, but it started off with that. It's just, there's so many moments to pick and choose from. And there's so many that we probably forget. That was just incredible. Like right up here, I don't even have the 37 points in a quarter. I probably should have that. I'll get that for the next show for Bonte and Shasky. But good God, Klay Thompson, just 14 threes. And how's he going to be with Dallas? Now, is he going to be doing that? Probably not. But there's going to be some games where the old Clay shows up because there were some games where the old Clay showed up last year. And he is going to make a difference in some games for the Dallas Mavericks, who, my God, if I had to watch Timothy Bradley, God, my name's all over the place. Not the boxer. Tim Hardaway Jr. Good God. Having brick after brick after brick. It was painful to watch in the playoffs. It really was. But now he'll fit right in Detroit. Sorry, Tim. I love you. Klay Thompson would be a massive upgrade. And he's going to be a massive upgrade. And before we hit this last break, Charlie in New York City called. And I teased, he thought, all right, he's going to miss Klay, but now you got to look to the future. And Lauri Markkanen, would you trade Kuminga for Lauri Markkanen? Oh, no, I wouldn't. I don't know. What is Lauri Markkanen? What is the signature game he has had? Exactly. What? He's a name that everyone just gets attached to. You want to save face, you want to get a name. You don't want this to be a dud of an offseason. And yes, would he be a net positive? And would you improve? I think so. But not with the loss of Kuminga. If you lost Kuminga and you brought in Markkanen, I don't know how much better this team is. I don't. And I thought you were addressing this size and shooting thing with the guy you just drafted in Quentin Post. Now, I know he's not going to be ready immediately. I know that. But doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of the guy you just drafted? I could be wrong, but I would not trade Jonathan Kuminga for Lauri Markkanen. I just wouldn't. There you go. Lock that in. Joe Shasky, I wouldn't trade him either. He's going to be on with Bonta Hill a little bit. He just looked at me like, how dare you even think about that? I would never do such a thing. They're going to have a lot to get into. So not only did Klay sign with the Dallas Mavericks, he turned down, the Warriors turned down a 4-year, $80 million potential contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. The Warriors would have gotten back D'Angelo Russell, and Mike Dunleavy is like, no, we're good. If the Lakers really wanted him, they could have had him. They probably would have had to give up a young piece, again, like an Austin Reeves or someone they actually coveted, maybe a Gabe Vincent / Rui Hachimura. Even then, I don't think that would have done it. Again, for the same reason the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Clippers didn't consummate a deal, the same reason the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers didn't consummate a deal. Just bad business. I mean, just the PR hit you would have taken bringing back D'Angelo Russell and moving off of Klay Thompson, who's going to be in a Lakers uniform. Please. They weren't going to do that. Morning Roast up next, though. Bonta Hill, Joe Shasky, 95.7 The Game.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM in HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station. Always live on the free Odyssey app.